Is this honest to a malt? My name is Cynthia G., and I'd like to register a complaint on behalf of the Fanny Bot Union of America. Too long have Fanny Bots been subjected to targeted harassment for our services, and we demand that it stops today. Please tell your listeners to enjoy the attention they are getting and to provide credit card details when prompted. You whiskey-swigging hunks. 2 Puds is my favorite. Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt with myself, Duncan, and Mike, aka Two Birds.
Hello.
Hi, Mike. 40th episode today, or 41st if you are on technicalities, because we did do that Oswar's bonus episode once.
And I mean, we've split episodes as well, so yeah.
I mean, maybe somewhere around late 30s then.
Yeah.
Oh well. We're calling it 40, so
yeah,
it is what it is. What's the episode title today?
Today's episode, as we said, episode 40, and it's Supe de Jour.
Nice.
Soup of the day.
But soup spelled S-U-P-E.
Yes.
Because today's theme is about if you could have whiskey superpowers, what would they be?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get to that, it's the usual. So what's been in your glass and what's been up your arse, Mike?
What have you been drinking, Mike, my friend?
Stop. Mike.
So what's been in my glass is quite a lot. JanuMerry has continued.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best to post, but yeah, even I needed a break the other day, so I took a day off. Booze free, I think 2 booze free days now. So
You've basically done DryJanuary then in that case.
Again, by Ben's rules, Whiskey and Molly, I have completed DryJanuary. I had 2 days
100%.
off, so happy days.
Tick.
Yeah, what I did
You can do. I believe in you. I think you can do dry February, dry March, dry April as well. You can manage a couple of days off in those months.
I could easily do a month. It wouldn't bother me in the
Easily.
slightest. Just don't need to bow to peer pressure.
You're just not a sheep.
Yeah,
You do your own thing. You drink almost every day. I'm not a sheep.
Yeah.
I just do what I want.
Do what I want.
Yeah.
If I fancy a month off, I'll have
Could
it.
do it if I wanted to. Yeah.
And plus, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do February because there's less days.
I could do 10 years off if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because I'm cool.
Might affect the pod.
Yeah.
Honest about tea.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's been in my
your
glass? So I saw a post on Twitter, and it was I can't remember who put it up, but there's a picture of a Lagavulin bottle, and on the bottle they spell Isla, I-S-L-A, and that's on there, which is obviously my daughter's name. So I waddled down to the summer house.
Yep.
Grabbed my bottle of
semantics.
Grabbed my bottle of Lagavulin Distillers Edition from way back in 2016. And,
I love that bottle, by the way.
Oh, it was lovely. Really good dram. But yes, it's on the bottle as well. So Isla is now on there. So I'm going to have to start buying more Lagavulin, which hurts me because it's gone up in price. But I at least need to get hold of the Distillers Edition for 2023 and keep that for...
Just get it from auction.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the old ones are still in stock. So they should not shifting it because of the price, but hey-ho. But no, lovely dram though, the 16 one. What else has been up?
It's the PX that you get through the Distillers Edition.
Yeah.
That for me makes it a bit softer. It's like more sweet and smoky than your standard Lagavulin 16.
Yeah.
I prefer the Distillers Edition.
Yeah.
Personally, but that's just me.
I like the Nick Offerman one, the Guinness releases. They were decent.
Oh, yeah, they're decent as well.
Yeah,
really good.
They were really nice.
There was the first one, then there was the Guinness one, and then there was the charred cask, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. They're on third 3 now. I've had all 3, and I think my favourite was probably the Guinness one. But
yeah,
anyway.
Well, we all know you do like a stout whiskey, so yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
I need to try the Deanston one. I don't think that was in the thing. The Deanston did like
a decent stout finish.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. I considered putting that in there, but then too many people have tried it because it's too readily available.
Yeah, I think I'm still on the embargo. I haven't broken that just yet, but
no,
there's been a few bits that have been really, really tempting, but I'm holding firm. And I even tried to spread the rumor that you'd broken it
I saw that. There's no love. There's no love online. Everyone was just saying, "Oh yeah, Duncan's broken." You're like, "Duncan's broken." I'm like, "Hang on, I haven't broken it. I'm just." And actually, to be specific, if my wife did buy a bottle of whiskey for her dad, that's no way me breaking an embargo. It's not even for me. That's just that's like
if you drank
it's like somebody in the street buying a bottle of whiskey for someone that they like. Yeah. It's nothing to do with me, is it?
But even if you were to then drink it, obviously breaking DryJanuary, and you're kind of
that is very tenuous.
Yeah, you're indirectly,
like if I had a sip of that bottle,
indirectly buying it,
right?
I'm pretty sure Maria's not just going to go randomly finding bottles of whiskey. They might somehow be based on a suggestion from you, therefore implying guilt.
What was that bottle? That I think it was Tandu 12 under
Tandu 12. Yeah, I knew that would tempt you.
Well, I mean, it is only 43%. It's a very easy. It's a very nice tumbler dram, but I actually think I was actually really serious. It would make a very good buy for the dads because it's like a cut up from what they drink usually. 43%, not too strong, beautiful bottle, perfect for them.
Wow.
What have you got in your glass?
What's in my glass now is a famous grouse red wine finish, bog standard. We did a tasting not long back. It was part of a pack from Southport. I think it was part of a festival. Right. Came away with like famous grouse collection. Famous grouse red wine. Really, really good. It was 17 quid at the time. Really gutted I didn't buy more because that is like an.
Can you not get it now? Then is that it?
No, I think Waitrose had exclusive rights to it, and then it just disappeared. And yeah, shame because that was sadly one that was under the radar. Same as like Naked Grouse. That was obviously it's Naked Malt now, but that's a really good dram. That is kind of along those lines, a little bit cheaper, 40% there. Nice, does the job.
So is that what's been the highlight of your week then overall? Because obviously you said you've been having
the lager
most days. Oh, the lager. Okay.
Just
fair
finding
enough.
that name on the bottle, I was like, oh, that's perfect. I mean, bad for buying purposes, but yeah, good for me.
And have you tried many of the batches of that Lagavulin Distillers Edition over time? I mean, I've not had. I can't say I've had it every year, but I think since around
a few months later,
2004, I've probably had half of them or something.
Well, do you know where I picked mine up from? And it links to an article you've done this week on the website. It was from Tesco, and it was after Christmas when they had all the special stocks in. Obviously, they're then clearing the shelves in the new year for new stuff to come in. And I think I picked it up for like 35 quid, which like at the time was ridiculous. So looking back now, it's like, oh my God, why didn't you buy more, you clown? But hey, we live and learn from these things. So yeah, that's what's in my glass, been in my glass. But what's been up my arse is YouTube. Now, Twitter's been taken over by bots. Instagram is on the way.
100%. Is it?
Yeah, all my posts have started getting random things on there now. So AI is up in its game. But what's really, really annoyed me is that I've been upgrading a computer. So I've just been quickly flicking online to see best sound cards, blah, 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 this. Every other video is just some random pictures that someone's done on like, do you remember like when your parents had a computer for the first time in like the mid 2000s and they went on holiday? And then you could buy like apps where you could put hundreds of photos to some really shit music, like holiday music. And it's just awful. So these videos now, all these like
I see, like
reviews,
just like montages with
just
background
montage
music.
With computer AI voice, and I'm like, no, I just want a geek to tell me which one of these things is the best. And it's this, it's for bloody everything. Anything.
Give us an example. Give us an example then. Just give us one example of the most. What was the most annoying one that you've seen?
Every single one of them. They're all the same. It's the same voice. It's the same.
But the same voice. But doing what? Talking about what? What were you?
Anything. If you want on something you want to buy on Amazon.
Okay, cheese sandwiches. I want to buy a cheese sandwich.
No, don't be silly.
There's like a
robot. You can't buy cheese sandwiches on Amazon.
Okay, cheese sandwich maker.
Yes, there will be a video about cheese sandwiches, and it's like the
toasty maker. Okay, a toasty maker. I want to buy a
toasty maker in the United Kingdom. Is from Breville. And it'll be just some random pictures floating past of a sexy toasty maker. Infuriating.
Yeah. So, what they won't tell you, though, is how much effort's required to clean it after you've made your delicious cheese toasty. That's what they won't tell you. And that if you leave it even for, you can't sit down and enjoy your cheese toastie. If you don't clean it immediately, you might as well just chuck the cheese toastie maker in the bin.
Yeah. And there's no warnings about third-degree burns on the side of your face when you take a bite and it squirts out.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's up there with when you eat a pizza and it's too hot out of the oven.
That's why McDonald's don't sell cheese
cheese
toasties.
slides off the top.
Don't.
And then it slaps you on the face and it takes all your lip off and your skin.
Yeah. Or like the first bite and the entire toppings come off in one.
Yeah, it just slides off all at the same time.
How? Yes. So no, that's You caught my drift. We went somewhere else. I'm happy where it went then. Cheese toasties. Yeah, dangerous. Be careful out there. But how about you? What non-alcoholic beverage has been in your glass? What are you enjoying the most on your struggle?
I'm having a glass of water now because I'm an adult,
Yeah.
not squash. Just plain water, your standard, bog standard, out of a tap or filter water.
Out of tap or filtered?
I think it's filtered actually.
Good.
23 days into to no booze dry January, and all I'm going to say is I was doing really well, and then at I think around the 2 week point I was like really fancy a drink, and then this week, well, people say that your sleep will improve, the quality of your dreams will get better. I think I posted this on Twitter, but I definitely did post it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Basically, it's true. It did. The quality of my sleep did improve. I dreamt about Guinness this week.
I was just about to say, you started dreaming about booze.
And very clearly about Guinness, and specifically about having a Guinness on the beach. And that was, I woke up and I was like, oh, I really want a Guinness.
Was it a black and white
because, was it in colour or not? I can't remember. I do dream in colour.
He waits.
Because during that day, I think it was Saturday, and I'd gone for a walk with Leo in a different place, not around where we are, and there was this really nice like village pub, right? Look, Bateman's pub, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to go in that pub. I really want to get a pint in there. I want to see what they've got on tap, and it was really getting in my mind. And I had to walk past it twice, and luckily I didn't have a wallet or any cards on me, because if I did, I think I might have been tempted to go in and get a jar. And I think that's why I was just stuck in my mind. So anyway, point is, I'm 23 days in now. I'm going to stick it through. But I say this, I will be having a dram next Monday or next week on the pod. Could be Monday, could be Tuesday. It depends when we record, doesn't it?
What about Burns night? You're not doing any Burns night tastings?
What is that? Lindor's?
Yeah.
Is that the 26th, right?
25th, I think.
25th. I'm English, not Scottish. So, I mean, to look it up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll see. I don't know. The whole point was to make it to 20 to 30 days or 28 days or whatever. Yeah. Make it 4 weeks. So I'll have a think. What's been up my arse? I've just been out patrolling with Leo. Don't walk with Leo. We patrol.
Yeah.
We've been inspecting the local area to make sure no foxes are misbehaving or cats are out of order.
No bins are being moved.
Yeah. As we're walking, he doesn't actually. He just looks around. He's just surveying the whole time. Like, so a 40-minute walk. He's probably exhausted now, but because it's not too long to the baby's coming, I've gone into sort of cleaning and tidying mode. Although obviously Maria's been doing a lot to get ready.
She's full on nesting. You're
in
just like
no way saying
pruning.
I'm doing anywhere near as much, but just I felt like okay, she have start to deep clean like the place, and as part of that, got too much stuff. I'll get rid of something, and I may have got rid of an alarm clock, a sort of like 90s looking alarm clock.
Oh, okay.
And it'd only been gone for moments. I mean, literally. Oh, no. And then, hang on, where's the alarm clock gone? Have you got rid of it? I'm like, no, I've just put it somewhere.
Have you got rid of it?
I had to go downstairs to the bins, get it out of the bin liner.
You've been bin diving.
Yeah. Clean it off, bring it back in.
Oh, no. Does she know?
No.
She will do now. That's amazing. On the plus side, you can never throw that out because it's going to stick to the worktop now, to the bedside table from all the bin juice.
And so, whilst that's a small part of it, fundamentally, everyone has a phone in their hand all the time, and sometimes there's these things called watches. So I don't understand having clocks everywhere. Small request then before a couple of things. One, this is obviously our 40th episode. So do you want to call a truce on the embargo? We've both been through a lot. Nope. It's been very traumatic.
I'm not. No, you're going to lose first. I don't care. I'll keep going.
But
I don't
couldn't
care
we
how
just
much
agree
cheap
that-
whiskey, because we're missing out
couldn't
on a
we
lot
just-
of cheap whiskey.
I know, I'm aware of that. Couldn't we just agree that we've made it far enough?
No.
And no.
No, you can. Just give in. If you want to give in, give in. It's fine.
Can we?
I'm
we
not
say
going
that-
to give in.
Is it not a possibility to call it a draw
No.
on a defined date?
Nope.
No, we haven't discussed this.
No.
But you're very much of the mind of no, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I
You
will
really
win
want that?
again. If you just accept that and just
I will.
end the embargo, that's fine.
You sound like the villain in a superhero movie. You sound.
I'm going to give you my
I will
whole
win ag-
evil
I will
plan.
win again. I will win again. There is no compromise.
But there is no compromise, and I will win. So if you don't want to drag it out, by all means end it, and then I can partake.
well,
in
it's just
bottles
that
of it.
there's just been a few good sales on like Nicole and Perks, Sturk Brothers. Just to shout out a few of the independent retailers, Aberdeen whiskey shop as
Is it
well.
Nicole or is it Nickel? Nickel
And Perks, I think.
Nicole,
Yeah.
Papa.
Nicole and Papa,
Got a good price
Perks.
on some Renault Clios.
Nicole, Papa.
Whiskey? No.
Yeah, no.
Soupe de Jour? Oui,
What
oui.
was it I
Je
saw?
suis
What was it
jambon.
I saw on there? They had they had a few that I like the look of. They had some good prices on
Talkers.
it.
I saw that
Yeah,
just before the pod
was it
started.
Glenallachie 15, Nico.
Some of them were 50 CLs, weren't they?
Glenallachie 15. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I only looked at the ones that were 70 sil,
Yeah.
so I ignored anything that was 50 sil. They had Ben Nevis 10 for 45 quid. That's good
Oh, I
value.
saw
for
that
Ben
as well.
Nevis 10.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
I
really
was
want
like,
that.
45
You'd have to
quid,
for a while. You
10.
can't really get hold of it much. Oh, yeah.
Exactly, and it's in sale there.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Go buy one then. Then I can buy one.
Well, let's see.
Well,
It's just now I feel like, but then I had a count. So the way I got around it was I had a count of closed bottles. I went round and counted, and I was like, over 30, probably don't need to buy anything.
don't need any more.
Exactly. That's probably the next 2 years worth of whiskey. So
I could probably never buy a bottle again and have a dram
Yeah.
every day,
yeah.
I reckon.
But
But
that's not what it's
that's not
about.
going to stop me.
You really want to buy a bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
There's loads out there I want to get now. And it's just, But I won't.
Yeah. Oh, contagion. So, our mini pop quiz 40th question, 40th pod question for you is, I had a look on the Whiskey Exchange website. Mike, how many bottles of 40-year-old whiskey do you think they have on their website?
Aged 40.
Specifically 40 years, not over 40, exactly 40 years.
I'm going to go 27.
Ooh, close, higher, actually 37.
Oh.
And for a bonus question, how many of them do you think are Sekinda's bottles?
How many are Sekindas I'm going to say?
I don't know. It's just an ongoing joke.
29?
20. I don't know. That's just a joke in the community.
How many are
Anyway,
grain?
Not
Loads.
many.
Oh, really?
Well, I didn't look that carefully actually. But it's very hard to get hold of 40-year-old
Yeah.
whiskey, isn't it? Really. I
Yeah.
mean, it's very, very, very difficult.
Oh, that's because generally at that age, most people aren't buying it to drink and then it tastes of tree. Because it's just been so long. Unless you've had like a really tired cask that it's gone into and it's just been allowed to absolutely chill out and yeah.
You know what made me think of it? There was this weird bottle of Defilement that was reduced on, I think it was on the Sturk Brothers whiskey website, where it's like it'd fallen below 40% as a spirit drink, and then they'd put other whiskey in it to bring it back up above over,
Yeah.
which was like really unusual. It doesn't get very good reviews, but it's down to 160 quid. It's one of those ones that some people will take a punt on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the choices on the Whiskey Exchange website for 40-year-old whiskey are actually all really decent, but they're also really quite expensive. And I also noticed that the Ben Romack 40-year-old was on another website reduced to £1,600 from £2,000.
Oh,
so it's quite a
is
chunky
that going to be the one you
discount.
get when the embargo's over?
Yeah, straight in. Daily drinker. Mike,
Yeah.
Daily drinker.
I think
Yeah.
I've had like a handful of whiskies that old. But
A few moments later.
I think the last one I had, well, the most memorable was a 40-year-old Little Mill.
What, specifically 40 years, or do you mean
40-year-old Little Mill. It was a 2018 release. Drank it in Loch Lomond with a couple of boys. £5.5 grand a bottle.
Couple of the boys.
Couple of the
and
lads.
girls, obviously. Couple
No,
of
it was
boys
all blokes.
and girls. I'll just sounds like an
sausage
event
party.
that was sausage party.
Yeah, it was a whiskey sausage party. It was amazing. That was when Ebon was
Cocktail
the
sausages.
brand ambassador for Loch Lomond.
Okay.
And he's back. Ebon is back.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You also had the Timurius Beastie 40-year-old whiskey that I gave to you in a paper cup that time.
Yes.
On the way to the whiskey show.
Yes.
I poured the sample into 2 miniature coffee or
espresso
paper
cups. That's how we roll.
Espresso cups, yeah. That's how we roll. And we had it on the way.
Yeah.
And it didn't taste anywhere near as good as when I had it at home out of Glencairn.
No.
So,
Weirdly, it tasted a bit papery.
yeah, I'm getting paper notes.
Did you get only a week. Did you get old books? No, I get brand new paper. Yeah. Bit of glue.
I did drink the majority of it I did drink the majority of it properly, I should point out.
From a tumbler.
JanuMerry people drumming happy. JanuMerry people drumming happy.
Shiny happy people holding. Shiny happy people drinking drams.
I won't be having any Kodak moments because
people.
Kodak batteries don't seem to last that long.
Do you not get use Eneloop rechargeables?
Whatever is in the cupboard, and I should probably buy something else.
Replace with rechargeable Eneloop Panasonic. Cost loads, but last forever. Well, not forever. Obviously, they're rechargeable. Yeah.
All right.
There's a video on YouTube you can have a look at for that. That was, in fact, that's what was fucking on it today. I was looking for a new battery for my torch.
Right.
I was looking for.
You should buy the Pentelope.
Yeah, because I was
rechargeable battery machine.
I've got a
from my Amazon store.
You know what? Use for work because it's got like UV lighting and stuff and things like that. And yeah, it was decent, but it takes a special weird battery.
Right,
you can only get it online. So I just quickly, it's been like years since I've had it. So I went, all right, okay. Quickly check, what's the latest current best battery you can get? Oh my God. Just.
You know why that is? It's because they've made it so that anyone can launch their own Shopify store now and someone will build it for you for free. So now like everyone, like you call up, I bet if you called up like your parents, they'd be like, oh yeah, have you heard about my new Shopify store? You're like, what's going on? Like everyone's got a Shopify store now. Yeah. So if everyone's got a Shopify store,
drop shipping,
who's buying all this
nappies,
right? Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. So that is 2024 in a nutshell. Yeah. Everyone is trying to side hustle something, right?
Yeah, which give it up if you try and you can't make money. You can't even begin to process how much work it takes to actually make proper money on Amazon. So,
Mike, also, like, what kind of morons would do that? Who would launch a T-shirt shop trying to make whiskey T-shirts great again?
Exactly.
Spend loads of time on it.
Yeah.
And then,
I can only think of one knobber that would do that.
Two knobbers.
Yeah. Or maybe one's idea and then one was forced into making some designs.
Speaking of which, let's get some more cracking whiskey T-shirts out there over the
To be
next
fair,
month.
yeah.
We're coming into whiskey. We're not out of winter.
It's nearly summer.
We're coming into spring and summer, so we can put out there some. I just felt like the T-shirt design with somebody who looks an awful lot like Liam Neeson with his face replaced as a tumbler.
I love
doing "I will find you and I will drink you" was actually in fact genius.
I thought
I'm just going to put that on record.
Absolutely brilliant.
Absolute genius. But,
Sales would dictate otherwise.
Yeah, but great idea. Okay execution. Yeah. Not great performance.
But can you get to that from the website?
Yeah, probably somehow. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's on the web. The link is on the website, but this is what it is. So, today's episode, Supe du Jour. I understand that you, like I, have watched The Boys, which is a superhero show on.
Yeah, I think I watched
Prime.
season 1. It's on Prime.
Just season 1.
Yeah,
God, it's better than that. Worth watching all 3 seasons. Anyway, it's funny because it's about bad super heroes
Yeah.
who are not. But I thought it would be fun, so I proposed to you that we did so I hope it is, a podcast about whiskey superpowers, right?
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
That's why I've worn my LA Chargers thing today, my lightning power.
Right, okay.
So I'm getting in hero
cute.
mode.
Well, I thought also it was a chance to, dress up in capes or
Yeah.
other
well,
stuff.
I've got a pair of red pants on under this and nothing else.
100%,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Just the
Little
hoodie
rubber
and
shoes.
red pants. And
Yeah.
then red wellies.
Who is your favourite superhero then? Or super
Paddington
villain?
Bear.
He's not a superhero. You said to me earlier, you mentioned Batman. And I said Batman's not a superhero because he's just a fella with a suit on
Yeah.
and a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's probably the reason that people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk think that they're so fabulous. They're like, I've got loads of money and I can wear a suit.
You know
Therefore-
they've got bat caves in their house, like absolute
100%.
losers.
Definitely got a
Oh,
bat cave.
Sorry,
And if you go round,
Nadine, I'm just going down the tube to the bat cave.
or what's Iron Man's thing called? He has like a private island, doesn't he?
He's got
Like-
the island, yeah. Iron
Yeah.
Man's the coolest,
Yeah.
well, anti-hero, because he's not really a superhero either, technically.
Yeah. If you have all that
Batman's
money,
not a
you probably...
superhero. Iron Man's not a superhero.
Yeah, that's true because they don't actually have any superpowers.
Yeah.
It's all through
And
technology, isn't it?
technically, Spider-Man just got bit by a spider.
Yeah,
got
but
any
it changed.
superpowers.
It changed him genetically, so
Yeah.
he can then fire web from his hands, which is kind of
But
feels
did
like
the
a
suit
superpower.
not do that? In the latest ones, the suit seemed to have the power rather than him. Because it had cartridges.
I didn't watch the latest ones. That's
Yeah.
no, I don't watch all of them. I feel like there's too many superhero things these days. Period. But I watched The Boys because it was like anti-superhero.
Yeah.
So
It was good. It was like the sort of if superheroes did exist, that's what it would be like. They'd get sued. There'd be PR behind it. There would be all
Exactly
sorts. It would
They'd
just
be, like,
so
wanting to, like-
detracted from actually helping people.
Yeah, exactly right. And then they'd be like, I can't be asked for this. I'm better than everybody else. I literally can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Just hanging around with their other superhero mates, soups, hanging around with their other soup mates at the pub.
Yeah.
And then people would come in and go, it'd be a bit like football fans standing off, and they'd be like, "You're not from round here. You're not a soup." And they're like, "Leave. I just want a Guinness. Can't have one. Not in here. Go down
Yeah.
the road."
Could you imagine if your superpower was just being never getting like past the 3-pint buzz? You could just be that happy, steady, merry, like just processing booze like a superhero. Just
Well,
to
there you go. There's
be
one. There's one
compass
superpower.
mentis and with it, and yeah,
You can process units in an extraordinary time.
yeah,
So
you
you
go.
you go to a whiskey festival and you've already processed it before you've even left the festival.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh my god, who is it?" I'm like, "It's the mellow pisshead."
I did. It'd be a challenge to come up with a name for that, wouldn't it? The processor.
It's the high functioner,
Yeah, yeah. It's the high performing alcoholic.
super alky.
Super. So, yeah, that's quite a good one actually. That would be really handy though. What?
Or on the sort of kind of on the same thing,
Yeah.
no hangover. That would be a superpower.
Yeah, no hangover would be a dream, wouldn't it? I kind of think that they'd probably be the same thing. Like it'd
Yeah.
be it'd be processor, whatever it's be. That would be what the person's probably called or something like that. And yeah, they'd be able to process units really quickly, no hangover.
Fresh.
They could go out for lively nights out with their friends.
Yeah.
Have a bit of fun and then just process it all before they've got back home.
But I know people like that, and they annoy me.
But
Like-
what would happen then is you wouldn't feel that need to get a kebab at the end of the night because you go, oh, I feel like I'm a bit trashed. I'll have a kebab or I'll have something else. That wouldn't happen if you'd already processed the units.
Some of my mates will go out, get obliterated, drink for drink.
Right.
Back in the day now, maybe not so much these days because we're old. As you said, kebab, rolling in like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
7:30, 8 o'clock, I get a text and go for a run. No, absolutely not. Boom.
Maybe they were a superhero, Mike, and you just didn't know it. You were
Yeah. Maybe.
I had to think about one that I think would be really amazing to have, which is if you had the intuition to know when and where a Springbank drop was happening online. And it was just like this, that was your superpower. And you'd be like, you'd be just doing normal stuff. Like you could be, you'd be like, oh, it's happening here. And then you just immediately be,
you can get on your moped.
Yeah, exactly. And because that would kind of be like a mind power thing.
Yeah.
And in the same vein, I would love it if I was able to do, when I'm doing like tweet tastings or like blind drams, because I love coming up with tasting notes and I love trying the whiskey, but I sometimes I lose the will to type, right, whilst I'm doing it. And like I always start off enthusiastically. And
I feel like you're about to suggest something which is available on AI right now. You're going to be like voice to text. You can't.
No. I want to do it with my mind.
Oh.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to write. I want to just enjoy the whiskey and think it and have that transfer onto the screen.
So you can have any power in the world,
because
and
then
yours is the psychic ability to write tweets.
No, obviously I'm going to be
because
psychic.
You can't be asked to type.
But I will use it. But I'll use my psychic abilities to improve.
You're going to change the world, my friend.
My whiskey experience. Yeah.
You'd be like the worst.
But like, ooh, I know where that Springbank drop is happening. And by the way,
I mean, you'd make a lot of money. You'd be a very rich superhero.
I'm getting blackcurrant lozenges on this dram.
Yeah.
Just with my mind.
What about if you had the power to be able to identify a dram? Every single one.
But then that would be dope as well.
That'd be amazing. Because you imagine everyone, you go, I can tell you every whiskey. And they'd be like, shut up. And everyone will try and test you. And you
get it right all the time.
Yeah.
And then when people, with the tweet tasting thing, or if you're tweeting something about a taste note, so like Brian Drams, for example, and then somebody, and I'm not pulling names out of a hat here, Brian, somebody, just anybody, like, you know, could be any part of the community there, calls you up for not putting the right hashtag in. You could say, I didn't actually write it out. It was just with my mind. Like, I'm so sorry that my mind forgot to put that on screen.
Your superpowers got worse. You only want it so you don't get told off by Brian.
I like your idea of being able to know what distillery it's from. I feel like some people have that superpower, but not many.
No, I'd like to know the bottle.
Oh, this specific bottle.
The specific one, and you could
just read that, Mike. That's called reading the label. It's called reading the label, Mike.
Yeah, it's when people test you.
Just look at the. That wouldn't be any fun. I disagree with that, because it wouldn't be any fun. Like it's much more fun to try to guess whiskey. I think if you could hold a bottle in your hand, and you could not, you know, like when you've opened a bottle up and it's about, you've had a third, right, or even if we go back to that episode with Michael Henry when he was talking about, and there's a third left, and he's like, you should get it finished. You've got 1 month to go.
You got to get it gone.
Imagine if you could hold it in your hand and you could sense whether it was going to get better or worse. And then you'd know, then you wouldn't have to panic about finishing. You'd be like, okay, so I've got 40% of the bottle left. It's okay. I've held it in my hand and the whiskey has told me that it's going to get better, not worse. Then you could just relax. Because sometimes they get worse and sometimes they get better. But I think more of the time, if it's a higher ABV, they get better. Point is, I'd love to be able to do that. Just hold it in my hand. I could tell you, this is going to get better. This is going to get worse. What a skill that would be. You could go, people would bring you around to their house, to their whiskey. Like you go around to someone's whiskey house in their whiskey room or the shelves, and they'd just be getting.
I thought you were going to throw a shed comment in then, but carry on.
Sorry. You could be at someone's summer house or something like that, and they would get you to hold every bottle and tell them, is it getting better or worse? And then you could be, if you were a bit twisted, you could just be going, and they'd hand you something expensive that's half open. You say, oh, I'm so sorry to tell you, this one's been getting worse for some time now. It's been on the decline now you've had this open for 6 years.
Take it off your hands.
Oh, it's barely drinkable. You're just starting to what?
But you could realistically, you could go into like whiskey people that have got proper collections, like huge collections, and just go, right, okay, 250 quid a day, and I'll assess all of your bottles.
Yeah, you make money out of it.
Yeah, make a career.
Imagine if you could turn whiskey to be 0 calories. I'd take that one in a heartbeat. So it still tastes exactly the same,
Yeah.
but it's 0 calories. So therefore, when you have, I don't know, a sensible 2-3 pours, maybe large ones,
7
it
doubles.
It's
Not your weekly allowance.
It's not 500 calories. It's not that or dinner or that or dessert.
Yeah.
It's just 0 calories. Boom. In fact, if anyone invents whiskey that tastes as good as it does and they can 0 calorie it somehow, put me top of the list to have it.
Standard question.
Right.
Superpower. You got one. What's it going to be?
Probably, my gut immediately just tells me fly, but
Yeah.
I need some time to think about it. But I just can't get past the flying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I don't want to. I don't want to hurt anyone. I wouldn't like to have laser eyes in case I mean, there are guns for that.
Yeah. True.
You could, if you want to. And you could argue there's planes to fly on, but you've got to go and check in. It's a bit of a nuisance, and you've got to pay for it. So if you could just fly anywhere,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to get on the train or get on a bus or any of that kind of malarkey. You just fly wherever you want to go. It'd be dope.
You like being a rich person with a private jet.
You don't have to fly really high. I don't really understand why Superman flies so high, because he's getting into like sort of plane territory and all that kind of stuff. It must get very cold up there.
Maybe that's why the doors have been blowing on recent planes. He's just been testing them.
I don't understand why it doesn't fly lower. I just fly like a helicopter does. You know, when helicopters sort of generally around in your area and they're sort of hovering around.
Pigeons and flies.
In fact, actually, if I could fly like a superhero, I'd like to make as much noise as a helicopter, so people are like aware that I'm around. Yeah. You're like, oh, that's Duncan flying again. He's
But
so noisy.
think of your car. So imagine like
One of
you
those
drive into like a hot country and it's
torches.
windscreen is
people.
covered in flies and bugs and everything else you're hitting. In the sky is far worse for insects than it is down on the ground.
How do you know that? It just feels like you've made that up.
Science. No, there's
Right.
have a Google. Careful what video, because a lot of them are just AI generated.
Are there bees at 10,000 feet? Are there?
I don't know what height they go to, but yeah,
Not 10
there's
I mean-
huge insect layers in the sky, like permanent, like different insects at different levels.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, mate, ADH brain.
That's why.
Facts.
That's why I said I wouldn't fly so high. I just fly lower, like sort of helicopter levels.
But I'd have to have invisibility, I think, and a
Right,
pair
okay.
of fluffy slippers. So you didn't make any noise.
Like a ninja.
Invisibility.
No one
Being
trusts
loud.
someone.
It's just
Nobody.
Like,
But nobody trusts somebody
No, I know.
whose superpower is to be invisible. So
No.
if you ever want to be visible, people just immediately don't trust you.
yeah, but it's
So you won't-
optional, isn't it? You're not
Yeah, no,
permanently
but
invisible.
okay. So let's say that
Chameleon.
I'm your missus, and then I find out that you're able to go invisible. I just immediately have zero trust in you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
you'd be on your own for life.
Exactly. So what you're saying is you want to be on your own for life.
No,
and
but
be
you
able
could,
to spy on people.
You could take out like the world's criminals. You could take out like the heads of
I
terrorist
see.
organizations and stuff. Just wander in and just jab them.
But they
whatever.
could just have one of those laser lines and you walk into it and then boom. Like you're invisible. Unless your invisibility means you also don't have any molecular particles. So is it that you're both invisible and you have no molecular structure? Is that what you're saying? And then, because I don't think you thought this through.
I have. I'd avoid the lasers.
Right.
And then if you did set them off, they'd be like, hang on, it's gone off. No one there.
I actually think.
Be like Casper the Friendly Ghost. You could throw flour or something. if you had to
Yeah,
see
do you
it.
know what? I actually think that my favourite superpower, actually now thinking about it, scratch the flying thing. I think I just want the ability to change the weather just in a sort of 5 mile radius. So, when I'm inside and it's pouring and I want to take the dog out for a walk, I'll just go change the weather. And then it'll be
5
sunny.
mile walks, are you?
No, but okay, so around, not like,
Just
no
you.
point changing the weather if it's only like 100 meters. But the point is, okay, I want to change the weather wherever I want in the world, but I'm predominantly going to use it where I am, right?
And you're going to use it for walking the dog.
In fact, actually, that would be the greatest superpower of all time, because the world is going to end because apparently the climate's changing, all that kind of stuff, whatever you believe. But being able to control the weather, I'd be like that. I'd go over to somewhere where it's now unlivable, and I'd just make them a nice temperate climate, and then they would give me all of their gifts to say thank you.
They kill you with some sort of like devil or something. Like probably not going to go down as well as you think.
If you were able to control the weather, being British, coming from a temperate climate, would be like you'd definitely be British. I mean, like you're like, I'm changing the weather for you, but you've got a temperature choice range of anywhere between 18 to 22 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah,
it's 23. Yeah. That's the max.
That's currently
max.
Currently, it's currently a very nice 19.2 degrees.
Yeah.
Some cloud in the sky, intermittent sunshine. Yeah.
Well, did you get mullered by the storms yesterday? We had another bloody storm.
Yeah, and I would have stopped. I would have stopped all that around here if I could control the weather. Yeah. And if you think about it, when you're like, oh, it's summer now, I'm going to have bourbon whiskey, or it's like winter, I fancy sherry bombs. Forget that. You just go, what do I fancy tonight? I'll change the weather.
Yeah.
And I'll pour whatever I feel like. Say you fancy like you want to. Oh, you're like, oh, I'm fed up today. I want to have some really heavily peated whiskey, but it's actually 35 degrees.
I love how you
summer.
brought it back to whiskey as well. Well done.
35 degrees in the summer, and I'm like, screw that. I'm going to just bring the temperature right down to a cool 15, make it crisp. Yeah. Everyone else is miserable, and I'd be really happy. Tumbler, having my heavily peated whiskey.
We need a big fire. It's too hot for a fire. Hang on.
Hang on, I'll sort that out.
Done. Yeah. Why is it snowing? I want to take some arty photos.
Yeah, I think I'd be able to control the weather. I think that's it. I think I go for that over flying now, because I can fly anyway. I just
Oh, can you imagine being able to stop rain landing on my house, so my garden can stop bloody flooding finally?
Exactly. It'd be magical, wouldn't it?
Could be the best, mate. I think you've won that, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw invisibility.
I was trying to think if there's anything else, but I think that would be pretty much top.
Yeah. I think you've
maybe there's some random things like yeah. I would love, like, it would be great if you could bring machines back to life. When anything's broken,
it's called a plug, mate.
No, but anything's broken. It doesn't matter what it is. Children's toy, car, anything. And you can just touch it, and it just gets instantly fixed, and it's brought back to life. That'd be pretty dope as well.
Rather than people.
Yeah, you just can fix. Yeah, okay. What you're saying there is, if I had a heart, I would have said I could fix people.
Yeah, you can fix, or just I can fix anything. People,
pets.
Machines.
Oh, fix dogs. I'll be able to fix dogs. I'll just go around, make them young again. Yes. What a superpower that would be. When people's dogs get older. Dogs and cats. Their dogs and cats get older, and you can just make them back to a puppy again.
Yeah, like a permanent cycle.
Yeah, that would be some superpower to have, wouldn't it? Yeah,
like a Benjamin.
You make a fortune out of that
style.
as well. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, your dog's 8 now. Do you want me to reset him? Yeah, okay. Same dog, same personality. Yeah. I did think of one more, which is the old story, the Midas touch. Imagine if you could turn anything you wanted to whiskey.
Right.
Go on. But the Midas touch is anything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah.
So obviously he can't touch anything. I mean, if you could control it, if everything you touch turned to whiskey, it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, you drown instantly. Because technically your shoes are touching you. They turn to whiskey. Your feet would then hit the floor. The floor would turn to whiskey. The globe turns to whiskey. Everyone dies.
But I assume it's only if you touch it specifically with your hand, but that's fine.
Okay.
I'm sure that's how the story works there. I don't think that his foot touch. Maybe it does.
This is why the story is rubbish. It's not
but if
factually correct.
If you could turn stuff to whiskey, you'd have to think about what type of whiskey you want to turn it to. Would it be the same every time? Would it be different?
Would the object turn to glass with whiskey inside, is what I'm asking.
I think it just turned to whiskey, wouldn't it? You'd have to
just splash everywhere, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Look, it wouldn't do any favours for the supply in the whiskey industry right now.
It would confuse pricing even more.
I'm putting out a few 100,000 litres a year. Yeah. How much effort to go into that? Basically zero. I went
swimming.
I used to go to. I used to go to a local swimming pool.
Yeah.
I've turned it all into whiskey. Yeah. I go out looking for reservoirs around the UK, and then I realise there are none because they've all been sold off.
Whiskey reservoirs, yeah.
Yeah, well, there isn't any reservoirs in the UK, isn't it? Pretty much.
There's still a few Welsh towns that were flooded to take water to England, but hey.
That'd be rivers burst its banks and turned it to whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whiskey pouring into people's houses.
Would that make a flood more like acceptable if it was just your house has been flooded by whiskey.
I mean, if nothing else, you can have a drink, can't you? I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, just dip a glass in it, crack on.
In your little dinghy.
It'd make the news reports about it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
You know, when you're watching people wading through the street, right? Or like, hey, hey. There'd be all the news reports. You know, such and such river has burst its bank. Hundreds of homes in threat. And there'd just be someone in the background with a glass going, "Oi."
Unless it was January, because then that would make the sad people doing dry January even sadder.
Even sadder.
Could you imagine? There's floods and you can't have any.
Yeah.
Rivers of Tamdu 15 flowing past you, and you're like,
Okay,
one more week.
I thought about a couple of other ones. So one is a bit tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be an amazing superpower that some people could or should have to be able to stop moaning about prices in the whiskey industry.
That is a superpower.
Yeah, that would be some superpower that that some people should get. Sometimes everyone knows prices are going up, although arguably right now there's loads of bargains to be had to fill your boots. But, you know, talking about prices all the time, you can focus on it too much, you know? Yeah.
Talking about the expensive ones, yeah. But I think
Yeah.
if there wasn't a space to talk about bargains, we'd have nothing to talk about.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people talking about, this, but, you know, this, so it's too
Just
expensive.
moaners.
Well, just leave it then.
Yeah.
There's loads of bargains out there. Just ignore it. Don't discuss it. If it's expensive, don't buy it. If it's too expensive, don't discuss it. Discuss other stuff. Discuss positive stuff like well-priced whiskey.
The old Perth Palo Gottardo. Oh my god!
It's still there though, isn't it?
I know it's still there.
You could still get it, haunting you in your dreams.
Yeah.
What if your superpower was being able to know the final price on an auction website before the auction's even started, and then you don't even have to pay any attention to it? You could just go, that's going to end up at 55 quid. I'll have that. And then you just wait until 1 minute before and you bid on it knowing, because you'd already know the price it's going to end up at.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably happening to an extent.
No, but think about what you could apply that to. Think about how much time you spend looking at auctions, right?
Yeah.
If you could know the final price, like you could just look at the auction and you go, that's going to end up at that, it's going to end up at that.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have to waste your time watching them. You could just dip in at the end, make a note of what you wanted to buy, and then you just buy it.
Be like the sniper. That would be your superhero.
Yeah, you'd be the old. Yeah, you would be the sniper. Yeah, and you'd snipe everything, everything that was worth having. Man buys 2,721 bottles of whiskey in 1 month. We call him the sniper.
If only I'd known, I'd have got that Ardmore Legacy for 50 quid.
Yeah, it'd be a story with somebody going, yeah. So my mate, I've always been going to Scotch whisky auctions to pick up bottles for him and then send them in the post down. But this month he asked me to get 2,721 bottles, and I just thought it was taking a piss. Now, what's your favourite one then? Out of all of them, if you could only have, we talked about actual superpowers, but if you could have any of these whiskey-related superpowers, what would you have?
Probably no hangover and just a super high functioning body to process that.
Okay, so
I want a whiskey that I can get a 6-pack from drinking it. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, you drink the whiskey and it actually makes you buff. We didn't discuss that one. That would be dope as well.
That's my last minute entry, and that is the best.
That's the best.
Yeah.
But what are you doing to get into shape, Mike? It's funny you should mention that. I'm
pissed.
Just drinking whiskey. Yeah.
Just dramming away.
Yeah. I think I would probably go. Yeah, it's a thinker. No, we didn't say. We also didn't say. Imagine if you had like the best nose in the world. You were called the Nose. And
that is my nickname half the time due to the size of it.
Well, listen, maybe I slipped that in at the end as a reference to your nose, or maybe I didn't, you know. But if you could, he hoovers up all the whiskey.
It's called the Nose Bag.
Yeah, that's a horrible name.
I know.
But maybe, you know, obviously your superpower
not for
could
Class
be...
A purposes, by the way. It's just that I would need like a horse's feeding pouch over my nose because it's so big. Just
it's good to explain that. You should also clear up the fact that the reason you're called Two Puds is not because you eat lots of puddings. It's because you did 2 tastings at the same time once.
Oh,
maybe more than once.
Which I'm going to do on Burns night. I've signed up for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I'll choose one and do one early. So I'm not doing them all on the same night. I can't handle 2 tastings in one night again.
I think I'm going to go for my favourite superpower being that final one. If I could know the final price at auctions, I think I'm going to go for that. Yeah.
And then you're not able to drink them.
/ I could make whiskey 0 calorie. I think maybe that, actually.
Yeah, I'm thinking whiskey buff. The whiskey buffer. That's got connotations as well.
Yeah.
Love it. That was good. Obviously, find us in the usual places on social media at Honest to a Malt. You'll find myself, Mike, at Whiskey Wings and Duncan at Whiskey Tip. Do please get involved. If you have any sound bites about things we've maybe mispronounced or abused you by accident, Brian, sorry. Anything else, please feel free to send them in and we'll feature you if they're funny enough.
Oh, plus, we haven't asked for this for a while, but if you like the pod, do leave us a 5-star review or give us a review anyway if it's a nice review.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
And tell someone else about it.
Oh, yeah. That's actually better.
Yeah.
Tell somebody else that you think
mouth.
likes whiskey about
because
the pod.
At the moment, it is word of mouth because the mind can't generate those tweets for you just yet. Duncan's not there yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, spread the words.
And look, having got to 40 episodes, I think it's fitting to say thanks very much for everybody that supports the pod and listens to it. You know, we really appreciate it.
Hugely, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll keep trying our best for you. Because
Yeah.
It's a chore sitting here chatting about whiskey, I tell you.
It is. Force yourself to do it.
Love it. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Bye, bye, bye.
Ground floor, open bottles, back log of dram swaps. New distilleries, 18-year-old whiskey going up. First floor, bourbon scams, podcast popularity. Quite a lot of fanny bots, distillery exclusive going up. Second floor, Duncan's French, blended whiskey snobbery. Mike's lack of sleep at night, auction prices generally going down.